Yes, that's right. I was born this way. Hello there to all of my tea sippers out there. Hello, 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 and hello again. My darlings, my darlings, my darlings, honey. It's time for you to grab all of your crumpets and things because it is another glorious Wednesday, and you know what time it is, honey. It is time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea. Darling with big meats, honey, thank you so much for your love and your support, and for coming on out, honey, just to take part in this wonderful, wonderful day. For those of you who don't already know, shame on you, honey. I am now 40 years old as of March 4th. However, the birthday celebration continues all the way until April 2nd when I have my closing ceremonies, and the 40th birthday celebration will officially end then. However, until that time, I'm still in birthday mode. So all gifts and sentiments and all of those greetings and all of that are be welcome up until April 2nd, okay? So I thank you for all of that. I've had a wonderful time. I took my vacation down in Florida, Orlando, Florida, and we'll get into that momentarily, honey. But I can only do just a little bit because Orlando has become the new Vegas as far as I'm concerned. Because what goes on there has to stay there, honey. Because if I tell you, then I have to kill you and your firstborn. Okay. The chat room and the tea room, honey, is open, so come on over there. I see we got a couple of guests that's over there right now. It's open. I want you to go over there and dish your tea and dish it responsibly, darling. It's okay to agree to disagree. Just please don't be disagreeable, honey. I don't want you throwing your computer screens into walls and things because you're upset at the way someone's typing words. Remember, the typed word only comes to your perception of what you think and how you think they may be saying it. So give a little credence and a little relaxation on that and breathe. But it's okay to disagree, okay? Just please do it responsibly. I'm going to say my disclaimer here because today's show, I've titled it, honey, I Found Freedom. Because there is freedom at 40. If you ain't got there, honey, get here. For those of you who've been there and been there for a little minute, honey, thank you for welcoming me into the club, honey. But I found freedom. And today it's going to be about you. We're doing red button issues today, okay? I want you to call in and let your voices be heard on whatever topic you like. I have a few things that are on my mind, and we'll start there. But whatever topic that you have and want to share and want to bring to the table for us to consider, to comment on or whatever, please feel free to give us a call. That's 1-347-205-9183. Again, that's 1-347-205-9183, okay? My disclaimer is this show is for mature audiences, and the language and subject matters are not appropriate for children or anyone who is not mature to handle the subject matters. Your listening discretion is advised. Again, your listening discretion is advised, all right? Now, let me say hi real quickly to my sponsors. Thank you for those of you who support Dishing Tea the way that you do. Trade Day Management and PR firm at Trade Day. Enjoy a touch of Southern hospitality with a universal appeal. For all of your public relations and entertainment management needs, contact Travion Davenport. She's at 678-523-3088, or email her at tradedaypr@gmail.com, tradeday, TREADAYPR@gmail.com. Thank you, Trade Day. Also, thanks goes to Pharaoh's Treasure Box. Fine art, unique jewelry, and sensational 3D silk floral arrangements, creations by Taps. For your decorative needs, contact Pharaoh's Treasure Box at 248-688-5178 or at 5179. Or you could email at Pharaoh's Treasure Box at Comcast.net. Once again, Pharaoh's Treasure Box at Comcast.net. Thanks, Pharaoh's. Parisian Wine Productions, music to lighten your spirits and lift your soul, specializing in gospel and inspirational house music. Yes. For all of your production needs, or if you need a hot, booming house track or something, contact Paris Hairston. He's the CEO of Parisian Wine. He's at Paris42268 at yahoo.com. Paris42268 at yahoo.com. Thanks, Paris. Also, we have we have C-Train Productions. You're aboard the right train for all of your entertainment needs with C-Train Productions. Omar Casserly, CEO and founder, is the founder. For all of your casting, producing, and production needs, contact Omar at www.ctrainproductions.com, www.ctrainproductions.com. Life Fellowship of Christ Ministries. Live in freedom everywhere. L-I-F-E. Life. Reverend James Coleman is the leader and founder of the Ecumenical Social Justice Ministry, brought forth to free the oppressed and introducing a fresh approach to the Christ consciousness. Contact Reverend Coleman at mustardcole@yahoo.com. Once again, mustardcole@yahoo.com. His services are held bi-weekly at the Woodbridge Estates Clubhouse, 4106 Supremes Drive, Detroit, Michigan, 48201. Services start at 12 noon. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, contact 313-833-9278. Once again, 313-833-9278. Wonderful. Thank you to all of my sponsors. Now, let's get right into hot-button issues. First off, I have to say this out loud, and I will shout this from everybody's rooftop, honey. Congratulations are in order to my girl, honey. You know, the queen of comedy, honey, who shows us that she's serious when she needs to be. And that is to Monique, honey, for picking up that Oscar. She got the Spirit Award. She got the Golden Globe. She got the Critics Award, the People's Choice Award, and the Screen Actors Guild Award for her role as Mary Jones in the movie Precious. I have to say, girl, do your damn thing, honey, because you did. That was a wonderful, wonderful movie, very hard and gritty and rough. The subject matter, honey, is one that needs to be explored and looked into because it's happening across the country and across the world, actually. But she portrayed that role, and I'm so thankful that they recognized a beautiful performance. My kudos are to you, Monique. Now, having said all that, here is the issue. How come black folks just can't be proud of her success? Now, damn it, I done just heard something where folks are mad and upset because they didn't like how she walked onto the doggone stage, and they didn't like her acceptance speech and thought she was being shady with the speech. And, you know, then she said, you know, when she was on Oprah, that, you know, the gown and everything was supposed to be, you know, paying homage to Hattie McDaniel, who was the first African-American woman to win the Academy Award. So she was paying homage to her. And then when she said on Oprah that, you know, she had received a letter and a flower from Hattie McDaniel's family, you know, then folks saying that she's changing her story, this, that, and the other. But bitches, that's all I'm going to say. Bitches and haters. Why? It doesn't make any damn sense. Let this woman bask in the glory of what it is. She worked her ass off for that role. Okay, and knowing where she comes from as far as just being a stand-up comedian, and now we see the movie that she's done outside of Fat Girls, because Fat Girls should have been one that was a contender, but it was still listed as a comedy because she showed her ass in that. I didn't see Shadowboxer, but I heard that was a wonderful performance as well. However, everything besides those three movies have been, you know, very, you know, herself. She's been a comedian. It's been a comic role. But to see her do her thing, to shed Monique, and to go into this whole other character, the girl lived, honey. And you bitches out there that just hating and want and don't want to see anybody happy or whatever, you go to hell. And I don't believe in hell like that anymore, but go to hell. Because y'all wrong, and you're wrong as two left shoes on the right foot forward. Now you're wrong. You flat out. You're just wrong. Flat out. All right. Anybody who disagrees with me, honey, I challenge you to call in 347-205-9183. Or if you got something to say in the chat room or the tea room, put it up there in the tea room because I dare you. You know, Well, let me not say it like that, because it's not like I'm want to challenge you on it. Yeah, I do. I am going to challenge you on it, but it's not like I want to attack you. I just want to hear your opinion, and I want you to stand behind your convictions. If you feel that, you know, however you feel, stand behind it. But yeah, come on, because I need to hear this and the whys and all of that. All right. Now, piggybacking off of this Oscar success, let me ask you this question: why is it that it seems that the only time an African American is receiving an Oscar is when we're portrayed in roles that may not look all that beautiful or noticeable to the African American community? Mary Jones, that character was, she was a child molester, an abusive woman, who did not really show any affection to her child. And, our mainstream culture, honey, believes that happens to be a part of everyday African American community feel. That's a part of our makeup, and that's not necessarily true. Yes, there's elements of that, but that's not who we are. But again, a performance, with this type of woman was granted the Oscar. Denzel didn't get the best actor until he portrayed the dirty-ass lying cop in Training Day. Okay? Halle Berry didn't get the Oscar until she did the sex scene, that everybody keeps talking about in Monsters Ball. In fact, that was the scene that they played, for the clip, for the Oscar nod. And those kinds of things. Why is it? Is this something that we need to look at? Is this something that we need to expound upon, or where do we go from this particular point about it? How do we get it addressed? Is it an issue, or is this something that folks are just making up? What are your thoughts on that? Let me hear from you. Also, let me put this out here. Vanessa Williams said something on The View. Was it yesterday? I believe it was yesterday, the day before, about the idea of the behind the blind side, okay? And, the story is about a white family who had taken in a homeless boy, black boy, and basically nurtured him to where now he's become their family. They basically adopted him, And Vanessa, in all due respect, made the argument that some folks are looking at this movie, as with the eyes of saying, okay, another great white hope kind of thing. Why is it that black community is always looking at the great white hope to solve the problems and to solve the answers and, to have the answers rather, and this, that, and the other. So that there is something to consider. What are your thoughts on that? If you have any, call in for me, 1-347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183. So, yeah. Now, here's another thing. Hot button. Baby. I don't even know how to handle this. Because, and I know I'm finna go to hit something here. And listen to all my Bible thumping children out there who gonna think that and swear up and down that I don't believe in God with what I'm finna go to say. Or I don't, the church, this, that, and the other. However, the question is, has the church become big business? Has the church become, or has it always been, big business. Now, you guys have all heard of the stories. You know, we've had a lot of different people who have went out and about, who have come up under scrutiny by the IRS as far as their taxes and things are concerned. How, you know, the big mega churches and this, that, and the other, they have so much in abundance. Yet here, my own personal story with the church not helping me the way I would have liked for them to, has really put a bitter pill in my mouth because of the semantics and the antics that they had taken me through. Okay, in order to say that I can receive help. However, there was a story that came on the Today Show yesterday morning, and it was about the Church of Scientology. Okay, there was a member who excommunicated herself from the fold because she no longer wished to practice among this particular belief. However, well, at least the sector, because she said she's always going to be, you know, believe in Scientology. She was just ready to get rid of, you know, do away with this particular set. So, all right. Well, according to her, there was a contract that you sign when you become a member of the Church of Scientology. And under this contract, you are contracted to give them, what was it? It's a number of years, and it's an astronomical number of years. Nobody's going to live that long, you know. But basically, it's kind of like a signing over your soul kind of thing to these people. And if you break the contract, which is what this young lady did, they end up sending her a bill that was going to, I don't know if it prorated or just sent her a bill for $40,000 because she was in breach of contract, and they figured that was to be about the amount that she would have paid into the church. So they sent her a bill. Do you hear what I say? They sent her, the church sent out a damn bill because she decided to say, I don't want to be bothered with this anymore. A bill. How? An invoice. Okay. For breach of contract. Do you believe this? Do you believe this? Now, damn it. Now, that's the Church of Scientology, but I'm not going to call the two churches here, okay? Because I don't, you know, I could stir up the pot, but I don't necessarily need to do all that. But see, this is the ticket. The children set up there. When I first got here, and I had ran into a financial snag, I had offered them to pay them back, okay? And two of the most reputable churches across the country. Okay, with television broadcasts and carrying on. Okay, when I called the one church, okay, the one that stayed a long way away from me, they sat up there and told me that I first needed to have been a member of the church for 90 days at least, and needed to have served on one of the auxiliary boards before they would be able to help me. I said, honey, I'm not asking you to give it to me. I'm asking you to help me, and I will put in writing that I would pay it back. You know, I'm just starting a new job. And they looked at me and said, oh, no, honey, we don't do that because you're not a member. And that brought a sour taste in my mouth. Now, I went to call the other one that was a little closer, so I thought. And, you know, when we talk in dollars and cents, it didn't make any. Because they didn't give me the verbatim what the other church gave me that was a long way away from me. But they gave me the same kind of rhetoric, basically because I wasn't a member and not an active member and this, that, and the other. So my question is, where in the hell does all this damn money go? See, I done got like everybody else. I understand that, you need to pay the bills, you need to pay this, you need to pay that, but who else what else is the money going to? And why? Why is it that mega churches got to be so fucking mega? Have you ever wondered that? Why does the church, when you're supposed to build the church, why is it that it's so damn huge to where nobody knows anyone except the people you come in there with? The pastor you got a congregation of 25,000 members. You don't know every one of them damn children up in there. How do you establish a personal relationship with the pastor of a church? And they keep encouraging that. You need to encourage and go to church and understand the pastor. How do I establish anything with him if I don't know him to say that I want to follow him? You know what I'm saying? Interesting. Very, very interesting. But the question is church big business now? Okay. Interesting. Now, here's another thing. Red button, honey. Red button. And every time I see shit like this, I applaud it. And y'all can call me crazy if you want to, but I give 2 cents less than a sweet damn. Because how many of y'all out there saw on YouTube there was a fight between a 67-year-old white man and a 50-year-old black man? Okay? Now, here's the thing. The clip starts off, and everybody first, because they didn't hear it, thought that the white guy, was being racial. Because he asked the black guy, how much does he charge to shine shoes? Okay? And the black guy took offense to it. So everybody thinks. I said, no, start the clip from the beginning. Because you missed. Because when the black guy sat up there and got offensive, the white man asked him, he says, I'm asking you because I'm going to a funeral soon, and I got some Stacey Adams I want to have shine. And the man, what the fuck make you think that black folks why the black man got to always shine the shoes? He said, wait a minute, honey, you offered. And so the black guy was saying that, that he didn't offer shit. He was making a point. And so the white guy was like, oh, well, okay, why are you so hostile toward me? And the black guy says, because I'm pissed. And the white man says, well, okay, you be pissed, but, you don't scare me. Okay. So they had a little exchange of words, but the white man moved all the way up to the front of the bus. The black guy wanted to sit up there and bump them motherfucking gums like we all know ghetto five fuckers to do. Bumping them chops, baby. And how he was going to put his foot in this man's ass or this, that, and the other. And then he got little instigators up in there, egging them on. When it was all said and done, the white man sat up there and said, I take, little punks like you and I'll slap the shit out of them. And the black guy went back up to the front of this bus, and he swings and hits the white man. Kind of punkish, wasn't nothing, but it was enough. And that 67-year-old white dude jumped up out his seat and commenced to kicking that motherfucker's ass, and I applauded with every fiber in my body. I put it up on Facebook. I said, that's what this little fool gets. Because you thought this was going to be some easy little win. Why is it that when it comes down to these kind of racial tension builder kind of things, that black folks think that they just so superior that they can't get their ass whipped by a white person? Why? Or because I read some of the comments up there on YouTube, and I was wondering, were people upset at the fact that it was a white man who had beat the hell out that black boy? Or were you shocked and impressed at the fact that this was a 67-year-old man beating the shit out this little 50-year-old boy? Okay, with skill and confidence. He whopped that boy's ass, and the boy's ass needed to have been whopped, because he should have left it alone. The man unmoved. There was no need for you to go up there, taunting him and doing. Yeah, you had little words. You didn't like what he said. All right, but he whopped that ass, and I wasn't mad at him. So now you tell me, okay? You tell me, what do you think about these particular topics, or any topic that you want? Any topic that you think is relevant to today's times, the current affairs, okay? Now, like I said, I have found freedom. Turning 40 for me has been such a joy for me, because I am here, and it has just been, I've heard so many folks talk about this moment, but 40 has just been so freeing. It's like everything has been lifted up off of me, and I don't have to put on pretenses or whatever. I don't have to, please. Okay, we've worked too hard to get this far. For anybody to sit up there and put on pretenses or anything about me, I don't need all that. However, I am here to say that it is a fabulous, fabulous feeling. For those of you who already have crossed over the 40 line, isn't it just beautiful? To know that you're not doing anything to impress anybody anymore. Because you start to feel like, grown out of that. You really start to feel as though this is all about me, particularly for those of you who are caretakers out there, and all is taking care of folk. And so with that, I welcome it. I welcome the next 10 years, this decade of being 40. I welcome it wholeheartedly, and I thank God for it, because, child, I'm telling you, this is living. Okay. This is living, and I'm living for it, honey. I'm living for it. Now, I told you I was going to talk about Florida very briefly. Well, Florida was a wonderful time, and I had a fantastic time down there in Florida, despite some of the flaws that I noticed. But I won't get into all those, because I want to present those to the right people first. However, it was a wonderful overall experience. And would I go back? Yes, I would. Particularly since they all know my damn name now, honey. Big Meats got down there. Oh, honey, I was hurting so bad coming back. I done danced and pranced and twirled and spun and Lord and have mercy and filth and flowing and filth and debauchery and lasciviousness just everywhere. But I had a good time. If you go to my Facebook page, go to my profile, and you will see a clip of myself and Darcel Stevens, who happens to be the Ginger Illusions show director down there for Footlights, the Footlights Theater Bar. And she had called me up on stage with her, honey, and didn't realize who I was, and we let have, child. We let have. So it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing, honey. So go to my Facebook page, Demetrius Dennis Taylor, or you could, if you're on Facebook, Dishing Tea does have a fan page there. Go ahead on and become a fan of the page. And I do my best to update the page itself and keep you motivated on what's going to happen on the shows and this, that, and the other. So Dishing Tea with Big Meech is the Facebook fan page. And then Demetrius Dennis Taylor is my Facebook name if you want to catch the picture with myself and Darcel Stevens. Oh, who just became my new sister instantly, honey. She's a hoot and a half for your ass. Yes, indeed. So I'm still having a ball, honey. I'm so thankful. And like I said, it doesn't conclude until April 2nd. So, yes. Ew. So now, let's move forward because, there's a lot of stuff that's still going on today. How many caught The View today, I wonder? Because did you notice when Jesse Ventura had come on the show that it was known right away that Barbara did not, care for his book? That was one of the very, very few times that we see Barbara Streisand, not Streisand, Lord, Barbara Walters, who become uncool, and I was like, wow, I wonder who else was catching this, because it just seemed as if, she really wanted to just let him have it, but, she's maintaining her professional coof. But, child, oh my God. She basically was putting him on blast about this book. It was very interesting. So I wanted to see how many of you had caught that, because, child, that was just entirely too much for the world today. Now, I'm sitting up here. Oh, I do have to go make donuts. So, listen, let me take a little breather at the moment. And I am going to... I'm still in birthday mode, honey. So, you know what? Oh, okay. Let's go right here. All right, honey, that's what it is. We're going up to the top of the world, baby. Top of the world. I love it. That was Miss Diana Ross. Yeah, I had to take a little break, honey. I forgot to sit down and with my tea and everything. You know, I usually here, you know, just in my comforts, but I had drank my earlier glass, and, you know, I told you I got to go get ready to make donuts once this is over. So, yeah, I'm taking care of everything. Oh, that feels refreshing. So now we're going to continue on because I just need to know a couple of things that's going on. I see we have a caller that done came in. Okay, I'm going to hold my thoughts in. We'll go here, 313-651. 313-651. Honey, you're dishing tea with Big Meat. Hello, darling. You are on the air.
Hi, I wanted to comment on the Church of Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about the contract, and the number that you were looking for was, I believe, 1 billion years that you signed the contract for. So like you were saying, basically, you know, signing your soul over. And the $40,000 that she was billed was for supposed counseling session.
Counseling, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was over the years that she had been a member, because I guess all of those things are provided free of charge if you're a member. So they basically, anything that they provided her as a member, they billed her for when she decided she no longer wanted to be a member. So I just wanted to give you that information.
That there is too funny. So, because she breached the contract, now they said, give me my money. Basically.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well.
So I think to answer your question, has the church become big business? Has it been big business? Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Lord. So what can be a solution about that? Because, see, a lot of folks are looking for salvation and things in the church, and they're looking to...
well, I think, first of all, we have to look within ourselves for salvation. You know, and once we find it there, then we know where to go, because we've already identified it. Okay,
but doesn't that just become such a cliche, though?
Well,
because... You know, we and we all know this, and I'm only saying this because I want to get I want to go deeper than that, because see, we all know that true knowledge is always internal once we go within ourselves. But here we have a lot of people who are duped and bamboozled and hoodwinked when they sitting up there behind these great big old cathedrals and centers and Christian centers and mosques, and because I'm gonna include every kind of religious organization there is, because if you have something like this where folks are quote, and I'm saying this, quote unquote, buying their way into heaven because they're paying their tithes and doing what they are taught to do. Because tithes, paying tithes, honey, is a scriptural and spiritual thing. But everything has always been monetary. They don't tithe their time or their efforts or their talents or whatever. It's always been monetary. And here you got all this money, and yet you got the nerve to tell this woman that because she decided that this is not for her, that you're going to bill her $40,000 for counseling that's supposed to be done anyway? Because you're a spiritual entity, and that, yeah, okay, what you said. I'm having a real hard problem with that one.
Well, I agree with you, Big Meat. I really do.
I
don't think that the church is what it used to be. You know, it used to be about helping the people. Now it's about helping yourself.
Well, you know what? And like I said earlier with my little examples, I don't know if it's really been about helping people. Because, see, when we were kids, it was about helping people because all of us were in the same boat. All of us went to the same church, and all of us had the same struggle. And we were more of a community then, because we had community then. If Miss Pat down the street, honey, didn't have, no food, then it was up to us to make sure she ate. You went into your freezer and carried on and got some of the stuff that you got an abundance of. And then you didn't make no spectacle of it. You went down there, honey, you did it discreetly so that she could have some dignity about herself. You didn't go out broadcasting it on the damn news, how they giving the turkeys to the damn poor. And this. Shit like that just bothers me.
Well, in the mega church, everybody's not on the same level. That's the problem. The mega church has the mega church has everybody. From the rich to the poor. When we stay in our own village, we tend to help one another. But then when the village is expanded into a city,
Ow! When the village has expanded to the city. Living just enough for the city, huh? Okay, Stevie. If I had that in my song queue, I would play that right now. That was right on time. Well, all right, caller. Did you want to share anything else on any of the other topics presented, or have anything else that you wanted to share?
No, thanks, Big Meech. Happy
well, all
birthday
right
to you
then.
again. Keep on celebrating.
Yeah, we have to keep on celebrating, darling. Birthdays only come once a year, honey. So I just say celebrate, honey, celebrate. Well, thank you, darling, for your time.
Take care.
I keep your ears on. All right. Well, that there was lovely, honey. Okay. So what you know about that there, children? Okay, what you know about that there? Well, here for me, I have discovered that, as you get older, you really start to question everything that you were taught from a child, because everything is not what it once seemed to be. When we're listening to the hoopla and carrying on of what's going on in today's society, how does that shake you up? When we talk about, wait a minute, here's another thing that got to me today. Was the whole idea, was this about these children comparing First Lady Michelle Obama to a chimpanzee and this, that, and other? Whatever this, what was it? Is it an email or a clip or something that went out over the internet? And, what is all of this? When we talk about the power structure of today, why is it so hard for us to accept what it is, and not that you have to agree with it, but why is it so hard to accept things to be what they are? And if there's something about it that you don't like, then you do what you feel you need to do to change it within reason. You can't come completely radical, in your tactics, because that doesn't always work. You have to have a well thought out plan. But why is it that so many folks are having so much of a hard time dealing with President Obama, our First Lady, Michelle Obama, Vice President Biden, just the whole Democratic Party? I'm at a loss for words. I don't talk politics much on here because sometimes it becomes twisted, and this is one of those particular topics where folks will sit up and they would get upset, they'd get frustrated, and everything becomes so subjective because though truth is truth is also very subjective, as it is objective. So, everyone doesn't see everything exactly the same way. you know. And so because of that, that's what gives us our little debates and this, that, and the other. But there should be healthy debates to promote reasoning and to promote us listening to one another. But they don't. What ends up happening is we get into these free-for-alls, and then nothing gets done, and then everybody gets hurt at the same time. You know, we're still on the Haiti relief, and now Chile done been hit. And there was another earthquake over in, oh, goodness. I can't think of the name of the other country right now. But there was another quake that just hit over there, you know. It was somewhere over in Asia, I think it was, because they're preparing for tsunami weather and carrying on. All of these horrible, horrible disasters and things, and everybody want to bicker, argue, and fight, and it's just entirely too much. It's entirely too much. And it sounds like I'm rambling, but at times you can't help but ramble. Because when you think about everything that goes on, and here we go again, because to all of my Bible-toting folks out there who want to be Christians, who want to sit up there and say, you know, well, God did this and God that. What about the God in you that wants to sit up and to make sure that things are going in the right direction? What power do you have to do anything about it? To bring forth to the table, to do something with your talents. Everybody keep paying tithes. I didn't hear any of these mega churches, come forth in big old ways or whatever. Now, I'm not saying they didn't. Now, don't hear me right. I'm not saying that they did not. It's just that the spectacle that they have in the communities, you know, with being so big and so this and so that, no one heard of all of them going forth to bring forth change, to bring forth awareness, to bring forth anything. You know, I have always I've always had issues with the church. I think that there is a solid red button for me, because the church can always have something to say and always want to run here and run there, and want to pack that Bible and throw that Bible at you and ram it down your throat and want this and want that. But when it's time for the real work, when it's time for the people to come together, when it's time to get your hands dirty, when it's time to do this, everybody got 500 million excuses, and I'm one of them. I'm putting myself in that category because I can't all the time do like I want to do, you know. However, there are times when I can, you know, and I don't like to put all the burden on the same deacons, the same this, the same that, to do the work. But all these so-called folk who hide behind, you know, their dogmas and this, that, and the other, they never come forth to do the work, ever. Never. I think that writing a check is just going to solve everything, when we all know that's only part of the problem. It's not the everything. You know, it's not the everything. I just have a problem with that. I have a real bad problem with that. Now, here's something else. Let me jump topics here, because, you know, the phone ain't lit up yet. Okay, I must not have hit the right nerve just yet on that church thing, but okay, so y'all must agree with me on that. Okay, now here's the thing. This goes out to my gay brothers. Okay, let me talk to y'all directly. And for those of you who have a comment on it, you know, because sometimes y'all, you know, my heterosexual counterparts, honey, y'all may have an opinion about it, or a legitimate question. But here it is. Why is it that we concentrate so much on understanding that we need a piece of trade in our lives? And for those of you who don't know what I mean, in gay vernacular, the word trade is supposed to acknowledge a very masculine appearing man, you know, very masculine, you know, what we call like that prison-like, you know, syndrome or essence, you know, very rigid, very hard, very I can kick your ass, if you look at me wrong kind of feel, don't take no shit from nobody kind of thing. And, it's very masculine. Looks like he's always a top and this, that, and the other. He could dick you down and this, that, and the other. So, after saying all that, why is it that we feel that we cannot function unless we have a piece of trade? And how come a butch queen doesn't satisfy that? And for those of you who don't know who butch queens are masculine acting, masculine appearing men with a little feminine edge to them. They're very, not necessarily overly flamboyant, but they have that little softer side, that they don't hide. They may do a little finger snap here and there, but they're basically masculine appearing, but for all intents purposes, you looking at them, that they're gay, okay, or there's something about them that will give you gay characteristics, and it's easy to clock these children, okay. But our culture seemed to want to make that a priority. Pretty much the young kids, because I remember back when I was young, and we wanted to make sure that the whole idea of having a man was to say that I got a man, not some little piece of thing that's acting like a man. I want a man. But do we define manhood the same? Ladies, they always ask you, why do you always like a bad boy, which is what trade is, that little bad boy thing. What is it about that attracts you to it? And what makes you think that you have to stay there with it? Is it because for me, I'm going to tell you, for me, it only works in the bedroom. Okay. After we have done everything we going to do within that space, okay, when it's all said and done and we done put our clothes back on and it's time to take care of business, see, an asshole like that would get jumped by me because I don't take all that craziness. When it's time to take care of business, I ain't got time for you to sit up here and want to act all tough no. I don't have time for that. So it only works in the bedroom. Outside of the bedroom, honey, what else does it mean? And I think this is where folks get caught up. Because you're not going to latched on to the fantasy of what the bad boy or the piece of trade is, and then don't sit up there and have enough sense to let it go. Outside of you take care of it, use it for what you take care of it for. If you want the damn piece of trade or the bad boy or whatever to be Mandingo warrior, honey, and swing you from bedpost to bedpost and then flip you around on the ceiling and then back down, honey, to the basement in one whop, and then, just. Okay, I feel you on that, child. Okay, I ain't mad at you, honey. I'm going to applaud you. And if I'm there, I'm watching. I'm going to get jealous and then call up my piece to do the same thing. But here's the thing. Like I said, when it's all said and done, you don't want that stupid-ass mentality to come over into your personal. Yes, it's cute in the beginning. Bitch, I said don't do that. Oh, ain't that so cute? But then when that becomes a lifestyle, see, then that sets up a whole nother kind of friction. And nobody want to be dealing with that the rest of their life, or do they? Am I wrong about that? Call and tell me something, honey, because I think I done hit something. 347-205-9183. I think I done just hit something with that. Outside of the bedroom, honey, where does it work? Where does it work? Because most of us are headstrong. We have listened anyway. And in building a relationship, no one wants to compromise, and God help us. God help us all if the word submit is used in a relationship, especially if you're not into S&M. Okay? Especially then. Lord have mercy. The word, where does it, children, please, okay, tell me something, because I don't have the vision yet. I don't have it yet, and I think I hit something on that one. And again. So, all right, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna keep on talking. Wait a minute, no, let me take a quick break right here, because I'm telling you, I'm getting ready for work, so I'm trying to multitask and this, that, and the other, and oh, this is the perfect one, honey. Come on, Aretha. All right, now Aretha say, honey, I can't turn you loose. Okay, which was a perfect segue, because I think that's what happens, honey. We get caught up, and child, I understand. I do understand, honey. I understand. So there you have it. So now let's recap. I've asked you guys, what do you think about um, this whole tension with um, Monique and her Oscar? Um, what's going on? What do you think about the 67-year-old? who beat up the black boy on the bus that was on the YouTube. What do you think about church being big business and the Church of Scientology billing the young lady $40,000 for counseling services because she was in breach of contract? Okay. You know, what do you think about that? I wonder. What about the whole idea of the church itself? You know, not living up to its creed. What about how I put out there with the whole idea of the piece of trade or the bad boy, you know, and how we gravitate to them and you know, does it work outside of the bedroom? Does it have any other meaning besides just having this, you know, masculine male that's supposed to represent security and this, that, and the other, or to give one the false sense that they actually have something that they already had, you know? So I wonder all of these particular things, because here, in order for us to be free, you know, we have to really understand, what does freedom mean? You know, what does it mean? What do we want from it? You know, what is it that we are seeking when we say that we are finally free? You know, when I hear that, I hear Tina Turner saying, you know, how she was really, really just, you know, totally independent when she left Ike, you know, and how that burden was up off of her, you know, to understand that she had no more worries and no more anything. She was ready to be done, you know, just ready to be done. I didn't need no excuses, didn't need any permission, because she knew she was done, you know. And to be that free and that self-assured of a situation, honey, what does that mean for you? Yes, I found freedom here at 40, you know, and I never thought that this is what this was, because I understood it, but not in its fullness. You know what I mean? And understanding that now, especially now, it has given me such a beautiful outlook on life, to where I now want everyone else to understand what this is. You know, I want you to understand how to go forth and be burden-free, to know that nothing can hold you down. And just like I said earlier, even though truth is objective, truth is also subjective. So it's the time has come when you have to stand in your own truth and understand that, you know, what is right for you is right for you. And understand also that the next person has to know that what is right for them is right for them. And there's no need for us to argue about it, because only you know what's right for you. That's because we have to learn how to take leadership. And I remember how we were kids, and your mama always said, you know, well, you can't always follow up after your best friend or this, that, and the other, because if they jump off of a building, would you going to jump off of a building? And at the time, you didn't understand it, but you found yourself doing it when you was up in the abandoned house, and y'all jumping out of the damn attic and onto the mattresses that was outside, and carrying on and climbing trees and, you know, this, that, and the other, and you felt you were forced into it because you didn't want to do it, but you did it anyway. But here's the, you know, this here is that kind of freedom to be able to stand on your own and say, this is who I am, is so beautiful and so lovely. And we had to take that across the board. We had to take that into those racial tensions. When the 67-year-old bopped the hell out that 50-year-old, he stood up and said, no, I'm not going to have this from you. And this ain't going to be no easy win. Now, he didn't, anticipating that he could have got his ass whooped in that as well, but he wasn't taking no chances. He whopped the shit out that boy. And he'd tell him, he says it on the video, he hit me first. Now, I left him, and you clearly see it. He left him alone. Monique won the Oscar. She went up in there and did her thing. She ain't studying nobody because this was a performance piece that she did. That movie was completed like 2 years ago or so. And they had to do the editing and all this, that, and the other to where it comes to the public. And now, the folks want to hate on her. Now it's all about how she walked up to the stage and bullshit. She stood in her truth of who she is. Her speech was elegant and eloquent. And I was like, yes, it's her time to shine. Okay, the young lady who got out of the Scientology church, she stood there and said, no, I'm not going to have this. Okay. And went forth, and now they want to bill her for counseling services. That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard. Okay. However, she stood her own ground. And here, she found her freedom. So what is your freedom? What is your freedom? For those who have battled alcohol and drugs and sex and food addictions and shopping addictions or whatever, when you realize and learn that entity does not have any power over you anymore, what does that mean to you? How did it feel? Wasn't that such a liberating, joyous thing that it just felt so good, it felt so right? Because you controlled it versus it controlling you. You were able to sit up there and say, I am who I am. I am what I am because it's already been decreed. The infinite creator already ordained it so there's nothing else to fight with. But wasn't it a wonderful thing to know that you were free? Free. Without hurt, harm, or danger, without question or pause, you are free. I found freedom. I found it, and I'm loving every morsel of it as I age and aging gracefully, honey, because I'm 40, looking like I'm 28, honey. I love that. Okay. So, what does it mean to you? What does all of the red button issues? Yes, it pisses me off, but what does it mean to you? And don't you just love feeling so good, so right, knowing Yes, baby. It's so good, so right. Knowing, just knowing. Mm, mm, mm. Freedom, baby, freedom. And I love it. So I hope today you were able to listen to me expound on a few red hot button issues. You know, and I hope today also gave you something to think about. I'm going to say my adieus this time, and I want to leave you understanding that I found freedom, and I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, honey. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I've been a slave to myself. I've been my own slave master. I've been my own slave, all in a world of bullshit. And now that I am truly free, then it's up to me to make all the right steps in order to maintain my freedom and let no one else imprison me or enslave me. So I hope that there becomes the mantra for everyone out there. Thank you all for your love and your time here with me, dishing tea with Big Meat. Join us next week. I'm not sure. I will keep you guys posted as to who's coming up next. We're still solidifying dates. I got Sinbad in the wings. I got Stephanie Mills in the wings. For those of you who remember Shirts and Skins from Logo Channel, DeMarco Majors will be here. So I got a number of things coming up, honey. So please feel free to tell a friend if you love it, tell an enemy if you hate it, but just know this.